Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday, March 15th, and these are your bell ringer problems. Today we have problems number 5 through 8 to do for our bell ringer, and then we have word problems number 3 and 4. Okay, so for number 5, we're looking here, we've got 6 and 3/4 plus 3 and 1/8. So we've got two mixed numbers that we're trying to add here, and we cannot add these mixed numbers until we find a common denominator. So I know that there is something that I can multiply my denominator of 4 by, so I can get a common denominator of 8. So I'm going to multiply that by 2. I'm going to rewrite my problem as 6 and 6/8 plus 3 and 1/8. And we are lucky in this problem because we can add these up without having to do any mixed number or changing our mixed numbers into improper fractions or any of that business. So I'm going to add my whole numbers. 6 plus 3 is 9. And then I'm going to go ahead and add my fractions. 6/8 plus 1/8 is going to give me 7/8. And we do not have to reduce because there is no number that can go into both 7 and 8. So we end up with 9 and 7/8. Okay, for problem number 6, they want us to find the factors of 12 and 18, and they want us to talk about which factors both of them have in common. So we've got, remember, factors are the numbers that you multiply together to get these numbers. So I've got 1 and 12 because 1 times 12 equals 12. I've got 2 and 6. I've got 3 and 4. 5 does not work, and then I'm already here at 6, so that means these are all my factors. For 18, I've got 1 and 18. I've got 2 and 9. I've got 3 and 6. I've got 5 does not work. 4 does not work. So these are all my factors of 18. So the factors that they have in common, we've got 1 in common. We've got 2 in common. We've got 3 in common. We've got 6 in common. 1, 2, 3, and 6 are their common factors. All right. For problem number 7, they want us to look at 3 and 21/100ths times 4/10ths. Please remember that when you're multiplying decimals, you do not line up the decimals, you line up your digits. So notice I put my 4 right underneath my 2. I try to put my 0 right underneath my, or 4 right underneath my 1, excuse me. I try to put my 0 right underneath my 2. Didn't necessarily get it right there, but you get the picture there. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. I don't really necessarily have to go ahead and do 0, 0, 0, 0 because they're all going to be 0. So now I'm just going to go ahead and count up my decimal places. I have 1, 2 decimal places, 3 total decimal places in my problem. 1, 2, 3. So I have to have 3 decimal places in my answer. 1, 2, 3. So I end up with 1 and 284 thousandths. And then finally, last but not least, in my on my bell ringer problem for number 8, I've got 10 and 2/5 minus 4 and 1/4. Once again, I do have to find a common denominator here, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of cross multiply here. I'm going to multiply 2/5 by 4. Whatever you do at the bottom, you got to do the top. And I'm going to multiply 1/4 times 5. Whatever you do at the bottom, you got to do the top. All right, so I'm going to end up with 10 and 8/20ths minus 4 and 5/20ths. And once again, we are lucky that we don't have to do any work with the mixed numbers or anything. So 10 minus 4 is going to get me 6 here. 8 minus 5 is going to get me 3. And then you're going to just carry down your 20 over. So 6 and 3/20ths is going to be your final answer here. All right, on to our word problems. For number 3 here, Connie spent 4 hours on her math project and 5 hours on her history project. What fraction of the total hours